wrestling fans! Don't you dare be sour. Clap for your 3-time podcasters and feel the power! Welcome to the Frustrated Wrestling Fan.
Get that out of the way.
This is Frustrated Wrestling Fan number 4.
We're number 4.
Yeah, we did it. Damn right.
We survived.
Yeah. I'm Zach Hughes.
4-way.
I'm Zach Hughes, rapper, podcaster, YouTuber, and my co-host is writer, movie fan, wrestling fan, one-time Wizard World attendee, Tony Hoffman. Have you been to more than one Wizard World?
I've actually been. This is my second one that I went to. This last one. So.
2-time attendee.
2-time attendee, Zach.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So there's a lot of important stuff to talk about this week, but I wanted to start out because this past week of wrestling and entertainment has posed a lot of questions, a lot of new developments, but the biggest question I have is, so Tinder, do you really use that?
Okay. I decided to open a Tinder account.
Okay.
But I am not taking it seriously at all.
Okay.
My profile is it's very cynical, very humorous and profanity laced.
Okay.
What I've noticed from reading profiles from a lot of girls is that they're very much into like height. Apparently that's a thing. Like
size matters.
Exactly. Apparently being 5'10" or whatever is something that girls are looking for. So I pretty much, like one of the things that I have on there is like, like height, fuck your height requirements. And if you're a vegan, fuck you. If you read books a lot, fuck you. If you don't own a TV, fuck you.
Oh yeah.
And
so
yeah, it pretty much, and on and on and on and on. So hey, if a girl's up for, if that sounds like the type of guy you're into, I'm on there.
All right. So we're gonna have to add your Tinder details to our social media plugs at the end, but we'll get to that.
Oh yeah.
All right. So let's get into the wrestling news of this week. So,
please, God.
Okay. So you had something about CM Punk. What was the news about that?
Yeah, CM Punk and Colt Cabana.
Yeah.
They apparently are on the outs.
Really?
As friends, because Colt, I guess he was like at Raw, and he was backstage at Raw, and he like posted some stuff on like social media, and as we all well know, Mr. Punk, Chicago-made Punk, is has a lawsuit against him from the WWE, a defamation lawsuit.
Yeah.
And, he won nuts, quote unquote, because if his friends showing up there, taking pictures and stuff, then this whole like it hurts his defense, against the WWE. This alleged the lawsuit, which is allegedly being funded by Vince McMahon. So, yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah. I'd never like to see friends on the outs. Hopefully they can patch things up.
Yeah, this is a real weird situation that's been ongoing with this, the whole CM Punk versus the WWE thing.
Yeah.
CM Punk, of course, is UFC 203, I believe it is. He's making his debut pretty soon. So, yeah. Do you think he'll win, or do you think he'll...
I feel like he's been training pretty hard, and I'm rooting for him. I don't follow MMA too closely, but
neither do I.
I dip in and out here and there. So I'm hoping that with all these, it's been like over 2 years of training, right?
Yeah, hope it has to pay off. I know that I saw that like him and Brock Lesnar, they've been sort of getting tips. He's been getting tips from Brock.
Cool.
Yeah, but if you're going to ask someone, that would be a guy to ask. So.
Yeah, so you have a whole stable of Heyman guys in the UFC.
Yeah.
So That'd be interesting. So I'm rooting for him. I haven't watched his like documentary that's on right now, but I need to check that out. The Evolution of Punk.
Yes.
Yeah, I need to check that out. But yeah, so I'm hoping he does well. I'll be watching. So, and hopefully he's able to patch things up with Colt, because they always seem like they were really tight. So hopefully that goes well.
Let's be friends.
Yeah.
Come on.
Can't everybody just get along?
Well,
All right.
did you see that allegedly the WWE they're trying to break up Paige and Alberto Del Rio? That's one of the reasons why they were separated at the draft.
Yeah, they were put on different shows, and it just seems like really petty on the behalf of the WWE.
Yes,
it's like, why do you have to be involved in this couple's relationship?
It's none of your business.
So weird. But yeah, it seemed like it was going that way, but.
And it looks like it's pretty much confirmed from a couple of sources that ADR will not be returning to the WWE.
Yeah, that was really just a wasted return, period, because I don't know, like, they didn't seem to have plans for him besides, like, okay, he beat John Cena for the U.S. Open Challenge, which was, like, a good thing that was getting a lot of attention. It was getting a lot of younger talent over, but then they just have this old guy who we never really cared about come back and actually get the rub from beating him, when it could have been somebody like Sami Zayn or Kevin Owens.
Somebody could have used that push.
Yeah, like Kevin Owens actually beat John Cena, but for some reason it was non-title. And then
Sheamus could have used that push, or not.
Sheamus, nothing for Sheamus ever again. No Sheamus.
Are you saying that you haven't been riveted with the best of 7?
No,
he's up 2-0.
Yeah, he's gonna be up 3-0, and then he's gonna get swept by Cesaro. That's what I'm assuming is going to happen.
That's what you're banking on.
Yeah. We also had some news about the possible matches for the Clash of Champions pay-per-view. All right, so it says the matches that are confirmed are obviously Seth Rollins. Yeah, this is the Raw only pay-per-view. So we see Seth Rollins versus Kevin Owens, which makes sense. Roman Reigns.
None of these are real surprises. Obviously.
Yeah, Roman Reigns versus Rusev. Obviously, that's where he's been feuding with him. The tag championship match between Anderson and Gallows versus the New Day. That's pretty obvious, yeah. The Battle of the Booty-O's. Bayley versus Charlotte. And yeah, it looks like that's what's being teased. It doesn't really sound like much of a surprise, but I'm hoping there's something else that just catches us out of left field, because I feel like SmackDown is like doing different stuff, and they're like debuting these returning guys, and
none of those matchups, honestly.
Yeah, it just seemed like business as usual.
Exactly. It's like an episode of Raw.
Yeah, pretty much. You can get all that stuff on Raw. And I guess we don't have any more news, did we?
Nah, I mean nothing really that
pressing
interesting,
or
honestly. Exactly.
Yeah. All right, so let's get into Raw. So the first thing I noticed about this episode of Raw is that it seems like they have officially changed the stage for Raw, because I thought it was just a holdover from SummerSlam, because it's pretty much the same stage as SummerSlam. It seems like they're sticking with that, even though the SmackDown stage is the same. I really want them to be more differentiated. Mm-hmm. But I mean, it seems like they rearranged like the pieces when they do SmackDown. Like some of the pieces that are on the side are like different, but it doesn't seem like a huge difference. But
just moved around, changed things from red to blue.
Yeah. So I think the stage is decent. I like the fact that the ramp itself is lit up. I just don't like those little squares on the sides. I don't understand why they have those. Like the little blacked out squares. It's like, why can't they just light the entire thing?
just light it all up. It's just like a Christmas tree. Just
yeah, because you could just put anything you want there. So that's irritating, but whatever. So Raw starts out.
Minor pet peeve.
Yeah, so Raw starts out with kind of like a roundtable discussion, which is how you want to start every wrestling show.
Sure. Yeah, you certainly don't want them actually, wrestling and entertaining people. You want people, sitting in chairs, talking to each other like it's, one of those Sunday morning talk shows.
Because like, wait, what does wrestling need? It needs the equivalent of The View.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this is Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, Kevin Owens, and Big Cass talking about the 4-way championship match that's going to be in the main event. What's the announcer's name? He's moderating it. Corey Graves is moderating. So he's basically getting the opinions of each of the guys, like, how do you feel about this match coming up? So everybody says their piece.
Tell us your feelings.
Yeah, everybody says their piece, and pretty much most of the people are getting a good reaction, but then like when there's even a hint that Roman Reigns is going to speak, people start booing. So I just thought that was interesting because it kind of teases how it's going to go during the matches. Like everybody pretty much had their fan base there, but then Roman was just like super hated. So that segment was whatever, and it finished off with, brawl as always with these things.
As many of those situations do. I know that whenever you're doing, you're talking to someone, having a discussion, just a fight just breaks out.
Yeah, that's what happens every time I talk to family members. Yeah. So next was Jericho versus Neville, and once again Jericho gets unnecessary victories because I guess they need to build him up for some reason, so I don't know, so he can be beat by a bigger star, I guess.
People know who Chris Jericho is.
Yeah. So the man that Gravity forgot was remembered by Gravity when he was taken out by Jericho. He beat him with the Lion Tamer, which you don't see that often. You usually see like his like Boston Crab version of the Walls of Jericho. It doesn't look very painful, but I like when he puts his knee on the back of the guy's head. It's just like that extra pressure. So that was cool.
The extra pressure.
Yeah. So after that, we have Nia Jax and her weekly squash match. Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much all that needs to be said about that.
Okay, so I honestly, I'm not as astute in wrestling as you are. So how long do these fucking jobber matches happen before
she actually gets a real opponent?
Yeah.
Well, if you follow the model of Bill Goldberg, you'll have about 70 of those.
The Goldberg model. 70?
Yeah, he really padded his record for, and it was weird back in WCW when they were doing this, because he would come out and they'd be like, oh, he's 10-0, he's undefeated. Then he would come back next week and he's like 15-0. It's like, where did these matches off screen?
Did they do live house shows and those counted?
I guess so, but so I think that's what they're trying to do with Nia Jax, even though they're not like giving her record. They don't mention that, but
so her and Braun Strowman, they're just going through these like tomato can laughable jobbers until
I guess the logical conclusion would be they just face each other, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like two unstoppable forces that they can only take each other down.
That would be the most interesting matchup of the night.
Yeah. Yeah, because I doubt he can get her up for that like flapjack move he does.
No.
Yeah,
and if she's clearly like this, like this great female wrestler, when you have her up against a Charlotte or
it's like, why is she not number one contender? And Bayley, who just showed up, is like
wrestling is weird.
Let's go. Yeah. Yeah, totally. Wrestling is weird is like the subtitle of this podcast.
Yeah. And Anaya smiled as she was defeating this
Jobber
tomato can.
McJobberton.
Yeah, yeah. So that was something, I guess.
Yeah, I guess her name was Hyan.
Yeah, Hyan
Yeah,
Young Olvera.
yeah, something
She's like
like
a
that.
yeah, like a local wrestler in Houston.
Yeah, so I'm sure the hometown crowd enjoyed seeing their favorite get destroyed.
Humiliated, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Next was a match that should have been a jobber match, but it was more competitive. It
A
was
little bit more competitive. Let's not get crazy.
yeah. This is Jinder Mahal versus Sami Zayn. Jinder
I guess
Mahal.
his Sammy has a knee injury, so that's why it wasn't like a straight up jobber.
I guess.
Yeah.
But I don't even understand why Jinder Mahal is here. But I guess they just need a guy to use
Yeah,
whenever they
a
need
body.
an extra person. Yeah. So that match was whatevs.
Time filler.
Yeah.
3 hours. We gotta
Yeah.
fill these 3 hours.
Yeah, the first thing that happened on the show that I was really excited about was the interactions between Bailey and the New Day.
That's what everyone
Yeah.
enjoyed. That's what burnt up Twitter and social media.
Yeah, that's the highlight because it's like if there's any two acts that need to be put together, these are like the perfect combination. So Bailey meets them backstage and they're like totally huge fans of each other.
Bailey, New Day.
Yeah, and oddly enough, they were already matching, so they were like
Yeah.
set.
That is a coincidence. What a
Yeah,
coincidence.
what a coincidence. We both went to the same tailor and got the same outfit. But so
Dana Brooke shows up and
Yeah.
she's like, yeah, fuck you, Bailey, you're stupid.
yeah, so they set up the match because Dana's been talking to her new friends, Gallows and Anderson.
The
And-
doctors.
Yeah, they're former doctors. Now they're
Yes.
retirement specialists. Because
I like that.
I wanted at least Gallows to keep up the doctor gimmick because like his name on the Independence was Doc Gallows. So I wanted them to
Gallows.
try to wedge that in, but now they're retirement specialists, so they've changed their green screen background to
Exactly.
retirement
Old
home.
folks home.
Yeah. And I like how they have nurse Dana Brooke join in, although it's like they're not doctors anymore, but they just have a nurse with them.
Very a porn
Yeah,
movie-ish.
yeah, it was totally pornish. She came in like, I'm ready. I don't know. She like snaps the glove. I'm like, are you gonna give somebody a cavity inspection?
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, that'd be like the ultimate finishing move. It'd be like Mick Foley's mandible claw, but like the ass claw. That would be the most devastating move in professional wrestling. So they get ready for their match. So we know that's something to look forward to. Meanwhile,
We have
to see
we have to.
number 2 in the best of 7 series.
That no one's excited about. That
Yeah.
nobody wants to see.
Yeah, so Sheamus beats Cesaro again. Apparently he beat him the first time. I have no idea. But it happened on the pre-show for SummerSlam. Yeah. So Sheamus is up 2-0. He's obviously going to continue this path because I think because they like to do even Stevens booking in the WWE. So Sheamus is going to be up and it's going to look like Cesaro's down and out, but he's going to make his triumphant comeback and win after like a 3-0 possible loss. He's going to rebound and the crowd will rejoice, supposedly. I just think
Or not.
Cesaro needs something better than this.
I do too. I actually think he's a pretty good wrestler, and I kind of feel bad that he's been kind of getting the shaft in terms of
Yeah.
getting highlighted.
Yeah, because it's like I would have enjoyed a best of 7 series with Cesaro and anyone else but
Yes.
Sheamus. But-
I think the whole draft, he kind of he needed to be on SmackDown. He needs to be on SmackDown.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so and it's weird they teased that when he was first drafted, but it seems like they backed off of it because they just decided they wanted to keep him on Raw, but whatever. Even though Daniel Bryan made an open offer for him to come over there because I guess they have spots open for everybody except for Heath Slater. But we'll get to that. So next is once again another jobber match.
You mentioned
Braun Strowman versus Americo. And I was confused about this at first because they started out calling him Americo, and then I think Corey Graves made a mistake and called him Americano. I was like, I like Americano better. But so
yeah, tasty. I get that from Starbucks all the time.
Yeah. So Americo, he's pretty much dealt with quickly by Braun Strowman, who has yet another finishing move. It seems like he's stopping with the reverse choke slam, which was pretty ugly to begin with, but now he's doing just like a flapjack move. Just throws you up really high in the air and you land on your face. So I think that looks a little bit better, even though I've seen other wrestlers use that in the past and it's not like used as a finishing move. So it will take some getting used to, but whatever. These are jobbers. You can beat them pretty much with a open hand slap.
Exactly. It's like having like a blank sketch pad. You can just just whatever, just write whatever.
Should add something to that though, like lift them up in the air and just like knee them on the way down. I guess it'd be kind of like a go to sleep, but like just a little more brutal. But yeah, so that match was whatever. Next we have the apology of Paul Heyman for Brock Lesnar's actions at SummerSlam and giving the F5 to Shane, which like, okay, so
what was the fine? Wasn't it like $500 or something?
$500. So that was already a joke to begin with, and it's like, okay, this has been like over a week. Like, why hasn't this been paid already? Because it's just like Brock could pull that off the bottom of his shoe. But so we needed to do this on screen, and it doesn't make sense because when the brand split was established, when Vince placed Stephanie on Raw and Shane on SmackDown, was like, I want you to kill each other. I want you to have competition. I want you to slice each other's throats. But she's claiming that she's so upset about her brother getting attacked by Brock. So I don't understand what role she's playing here.
What does she care?
Yeah, so it's like she's like back and forth all the time. Like if she wants to be seen as like this evil heel or this like baby face, but it always seems like she's faking being the fan favorite person or whatever. So it just seemed really weird. So the best part of this though was Paul like peeling off the ones and like throwing them at her. I thought that was funny. Although she just smacks him out of his hand. I'm surprised nobody in the front row just tried to snatch him. But I guess it's just a pack of ones who is going to get kicked out of the arena for a couple of singles.
Exactly. But you can't even buy a bottle of Pepsi with that at that place. Yeah,
so Paul ends up giving this fake half-ass apology or whatever, and she accepts, which I don't understand. It's like, this obviously wasn't sincere, and I don't understand why she wanted it in the first place, and it's kind of confusing as a segment. After that was the unfortunate Titus O'Neil and Darren Young. That's gonna be like his title from now on, because I just feel like he's going down a bad path. After he was originally, he looked like he had some promise as a tag team wrestler with Darren Young. He looked like he was the highlight of that tag team. Every time he got a hot tag, the crowd was super into it. Everybody was doing the dog bark, and his career just seems to be falling apart after they split.
If ever there was a guy who needed some kind of a gimmick, I don't know if it's like a costume or something. He's from a mental institution, or he he thinks
Pokemon he's a dog.
Exactly.
Yeah, he needs something.
He's boring and bad on the mic, and just jeez.
Yeah, so this was another match that it didn't really need to happen, but whatever. Darren Young wins.
Titus sneaks up. He runs back in and he beats up Darren Young and Bob Backlund.
Yeah, and nobody cares. Like, the crowd is not into this. Because it's like, if this feud doesn't really matter, and they're throwing away these matches on TV, if you wanted to make it matter, they should have spent more time, like, do some kind of, like, pre-taped promos or something backstage and, like, lead up to a pay-per-view match, so at least you get slight interest for it on pay-per-view. But they're just doing all these on TV, so it really seems like there's no point to it.
Like, if they actually let Darren Young be gay and, like, make Titus O'Neil like this homophobe or something like that would be interesting.
Yeah, it would resonate with the audience, because they know there's some reality to it. It's like, I'm a father and you'll never be a father. Like, you disgust me. It's like, oh my god.
Yeah, because like right now, I just don't care about either wrestler.
Yeah.
I don't care about their feuds. There's no reason to be invested in it. You haven't given me a reason to care.
No, not at all. So, next, it was the main event, right? The Fatal 4-Way. Yeah. So,
for the Universal Championship.
Yeah, the title everybody's still so conflicted about. They call it a bacon belt. They call it a fruit roll-up. Yeah, I'm getting more used to the championship the more I see it. It doesn't really bother me. Besides the back, it just looks kind of lumpy when it hits the light a certain way. I wish they'd just smooth that out. But otherwise, it's whatever. Yeah,
and whoever wins the Universal Championship will become the quote first ever.
Yeah, that was irritating, because Stephanie kept saying that. She said that twice. It was like, you're acknowledging the fact that Finn Balor gave it up due to injury. He was champion for over 24 hours, maybe slightly less than 24 hours, but he was on TV as champion, holding up the belt. Everybody booed when he relinquished it, so there's been a champion. This is the second, but whatever.
Yeah, everyone's acknowledging Owens as the second ever champion.
Yeah.
Except for Stephanie McMahon and WWE, apparently. So.
Yeah, it's very weird, but I guess they don't like their plans going left on them, but whatever. But okay, so this match result was spoiled for me before I even watched the episode of Raw, because I tend to watch Raw the next day, and like, you like to watch a Raw leftover. Yeah,
Raw.
Yeah, not cooked, but cold and raw.
Yes.
So I try to avoid social media before I watch Raw the next day, but I didn't know that I would be spoiled by iTunes. So I was like,
fucking Tim Cook.
So I was like sorting out some podcasts and stuff and downloading stuff to my iPod, because I still do that like an old man instead of just going to streaming services.
You still own a Zune?
No, I have my little iPod Nano that Apple discontinued because third-party developers made it into a cool watch and they wanted to make their own watch, but whatever. So I saw this title from another podcast that I listened to called Live Audio Wrestling. They had an episode called Kevin O Wins, because they're huge fans of puns in Canada. So they gave a pun title and said Kevin O Wins. So I was like, okay, that's obvious. That's obviously the result. I've been spoiled. I'm going to try to ignore it. Maybe there was some kind of screwy finish, and hopefully that's not as straightforward as it looks. Then, shouldn't have checked Facebook. I just saw a picture of Triple H for some reason next to Kevin Owens holding the title. So it just jump into Raw right after that, because I already know the result. But so seeing it go down is still kind of confusing.
Yeah, it's like everything like didn't even matter.
Yeah. So it was okay. So the match is whatever.
Big Cass is the first to be
he's the first to be
eliminated
eliminated.
by Kevin
Yeah,
Owens.
but they try to make him look fairly strong, and like multiple people have to hit their finishers on him before he actually gets pinned. So I thought that was cool. And one thing that I didn't realize, he was the only one that got kind of a legit pin, was Kevin Owens.
Yeah, he was the only one who was legitimately eliminated by
Yeah.
another wrestler.
Yeah, so the match goes on. The crowd is super into everybody except
Yeah,
for Roman
everybody.
Reigns.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody keeps, getting up, after like right before the third count.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's a lot of near falls, a lot of excitement, and then all of a sudden, out of the crowd, comes Triple H. He gives a pedigree to Roman Reigns, which is
Outside the ring.
obvious,
Yeah.
it's payback for their feud or whatever. So he rolls him in, and I think Rollins gets the pin on him, right?
Yeah. He pins. He helped Rollins pin him.
Yeah, so then it looks like Triple H is going to serve up Kevin Owens to Rollins just like he did Reigns. But then he turns and surprise, he pedigrees Seth Rollins. And Kevin Owens looks confused, but he takes the pin anyway. And Kevin Owens celebrates his new championship win with Triple H. So I don't... One thing I don't want...
Stephanie was...
Yeah, Stephanie seemed to be confused, so it seems like it's something that Triple H decided, and Stephanie has no idea what's going on. So this is confusing because it's like, you and your husband don't discuss these things. Did you know he was in the building? What?
Yeah, they don't talk.
What kind of
bed.
marriage do you guys have? You have different agendas. You're supporting different people.
They got a new dog, by the way.
Oh.
Yeah, I saw that on Stephanie's Twitter. A new addition to the family, a little puppy.
Cool. Did they say the name?
I don't remember.
They should call it China.
That would be adorable and morbid.
Inappropriate based on how they treated her. But
for many reasons.
Yeah, so I think it's weird. So I hope that coming out of this, Kevin Owens isn't just like some lackey for Triple H, even though it like seems like he wasn't involved in the reason that Triple H helped him. I just hope it doesn't continue on after this. Like he's serving the same role that Seth Rollins did in the past, because like that was the worst part of Seth Rollins' championship reign, is that he was just like Triple H Jr. And I don't want to see that from Kevin Owens, because his character is like supposed to be smarter than most other people. So I would feel like he should just take this win and be like, yeah, thanks, but I didn't need it, but I'm the champ now.
Yeah, come on, Kevin, be big O and not lowercase h.
Yeah, I think, and after that pedigree, I was hoping that Kevin would do something of his own, like to finish the match, but he just took the pin. So that was whatever. It doesn't seem like there's going to be like a straight up Authority and Son angle, because it's like they're Triple H.
Babies.
Yeah, Triple H is definitely on different pages with it, so that might be kind of interesting. Although I don't think we need more Authority on screen. They need to back away a little bit, like, because that was part of what I have enjoyed about Raw, is like that they were kind of stepping back and they weren't as involved on screen as like Shane and Daniel Bryan are. They're like all over SmackDown. But now it looks like they're coming back to the forefront, so we'll see how that goes. Not too excited about it. I just want Kevin Owens to be center stage as the champion, and maybe like Jericho standing right behind him, I guess. Like, because I think he had a tweet this week that says, "We're gonna make a great champion." I thought that was funny. So that'll be interesting. Like if they just stick to the Jericho thing with Kevin Owens as champion, that'll be interesting enough. We don't need like the Authority to jumble it up and make it more complicated than it needs to be. So next show of the week.
Raw.
SmackDown.
SmackDown.
Yeah. So
we love that it's 2 hours.
Yes, absolutely.
It's so tight.
Yeah, absolutely. Keep it tight. All right, so they're following up on SmackDown after
The Miz and Daniel Bryan
on Talking Smack, the highlight of last week. And the way they follow it up is not with The Miz and Daniel Bryan interacting with each other and kind of settling this. It's Miz comes out, he cuts his promo, and then Ziggler comes out for some reason. So so they're bringing the Colonel Sanders and Chicken feud to television.
I mean, I hope that's not why.
I hope it's not why, but like
damn commercials.
I hope it's not why, but it's very coincidental. It's like, hey, you guys are fighting as a chicken and a racist Confederate general, colonel, but now you're outside of your outfits and you still hate each other. So that's how they lead into it. Ziggler gives another one of his passionate red-faced promos.
His voice, like he could yell and scream as loud as he can, but it's just the way his voice sounds very, like it doesn't sound very scary at all.
Yeah, it's kind of like cartoonish when he gets to that higher pitch.
Come on, my way. Just get deep down and shy and just
come
on, you're a coward.
So he challenges The Miz, and I think that's pretty much the gist of that segment. Miz acts like he's gonna fight him, and he backs away.
His, bell and this rolls his sleeve up. And,
but then he walks away. So we're teasing that confrontation. More to come. Next we see, I think this is the first match we officially see of the Hype Bros, and they're up against the Vaudevillains, and they win their match. And you see like the craziness of Mojo Rawley and
Mojo.
Yeah, bro. So yeah, that match was
very quick.
Yeah, it was very fast because I guess that's supposed to be Mojo Rawley style. He's just like running all over the place, super fast style. So that match was what it was. So you see a little bit of the personality of that team. And next we have, I think it was AJ Styles versus Apollo Crews. And they had a little thing backstage before this where Cruz basically I forget, I think AJ like insults Cruz, and later he goes and apparently gets permission to challenge AJ to a match, and
on the spot.
Yeah, it was
AJ
like
in his John Cena headband.
Yeah, so he got permission to challenge him to a match that starts right now. So it wasn't much of a challenge. It was like, we have a match.
We have no choice.
Yeah. So it was kind of a mandate. But so they have their match, and like Cruz is getting his offense in. But like he did this backstage and he did it in the match. He was like, oh, that was a punch. PUNCH. I was like, please don't make his gimmick. This person who's had no gimmick thus far has been super boring. Don't make his gimmick that he spells out everything. That is not an improvement.
Yeah, that is STUPID.
Yes, absolutely. So I hope they don't keep going with this, but knowing the WWE writers, this is probably the best idea that they had. So I'm not excited for that. But so whatever, AJ beats Apollo Crews.
With a phenomenal forearm.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like that's a hard move to have as your finisher. You have to do that like perfectly every time. But he's pulling it off, so.
Yeah, good for him.
Yeah. So next we have Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton. They kind of go back and forth. This is Bray Wyatt's sermon for the serpent. So This is typical Bray Wyatt, just rambling on and on.
Yeah,
Like,
everybody knows the intro, and he, like, comes on. He's just in the chair.
yeah,
And he's talking about how, like, Randy Orton, came
Randy
out.
on. It was a whole lot of nothing from Orton. So Orton accepts his challenge. So
He runs into the
yeah,
ring to wrestle him, and
then he disappears apparently, and
we
nobody.
talked about this last week. Like, how does he like leave the stage? Because when you're there in the arena, you could still
The lights go out, but you could still see stuff, especially because everyone has their cell phone lights on. So you can probably see him just running either down the ramp or maybe through the crowd.
Big guy,
something like that,
running as fast as he can.
Yeah, so it's a camera trick at best.
It's made for TV.
Yeah, but it's like, why wouldn't? It's like it cuts and then the announcers just talk about whatever is coming up next, but shouldn't they still be reacting to what's happening in the ring? It's like weird. It's like they're only watching the TV feed or whatever. But whatever. So Natalya and Alexa Bliss fight Becky Lynch and Naomi. Natalya and Alexa Bliss win. There's not much to say about that. Carmella attacks Nikki Bella again.
That's the only reason.
Yeah, that was the highlight of that, because Nikki Bella was out on commentary, and she gets attacked by Carmella.
Out of the crowd from behind.
Yeah, so I think this is a better role for Carmella. Makes her.
Say, do you like her now?
Yeah, she's not talking, and she's just being a dastardly, sneaky heel. That I feel like that is a good role for her, and they should keep her in that role. I mean, when she talks again, she's gonna get booed, especially by me. So I think that's more appropriate for that gimmick, and we'll see how that goes. So the ref helps her, Nikki, to the back and whatever. Next we have. Did they have the promo for
they had that before
Slater before this match? Yeah.
Where their Renee Young goes to
she goes to visit Heath Slater at home, and I thought this was funny. People have mixed feelings about it online, but I thought it was pretty funny. I like the role for Rhino in this, that he just like barely said anything. He's just sitting there eating Cheese Whiz and crackers. And I didn't even notice that they said he was like making frowny faces on the crackers with the Cheese Whiz.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, so Renee's interviewing him about like why he wants this contract so bad. And he's talking about how he has to take care of his kids, and he has his wife Beulah. So it was just stupid like redneck jokes, but I just thought it was funny. It was. I don't know why Rhino was just hanging out at his house.
Demographic, yeah,
just hanging out, eating Cheese Whiz. But at the end of the segment, apparently his kids stole the car and drove off. So it is whatever. I liked when the match actually happens though. They had a lot of people in the crowd had like Heath's kids. They had signs that said Heath's kids. So I think that's funny because it's like the Cesaro section signs, but it's just Heath's kids, and they're all over the crowd because nobody knows exactly how many kids he has, but he has a lot.
Cool, but yeah, I'm glad to see that Heath has found his role, his niche, and the fans. He's definitely connecting with the fans. It's funny.
Yeah. So they take on the Headbangers, the returning Headbangers. Yeah. And that was the thing with SmackDown that they're doing that's more interesting. They have returning stars, and it's like just makes you anticipate what's going to happen each week. Like, oh, haven't seen these guys in a while. It gives me something to look forward to returning to SmackDown. I don't know if the Headbangers were the best choice for this, but it's still interesting to see them come back. They are pretty sloppy in the ring, it seems, because I can't remember which headbanger it was, but one of them basically pulls a Brock Lesnar on Rhino, and he runs up and elbows him off the ring apron and immediately cuts him open over the eye.
Yeah.
So like at the end of the match, you just see blood all over Rhino's face, oddly. So it was interesting. And I watched a replay of this on YouTube, and they do this for some of the old stuff on the WWE Network, but they turn the whole screen black and white whenever Rhino's on screen. So his blood just looks like he's got oil
Black
spilled all over his face. So I think it was interesting. It was like totally unplanned, but just these guys who I don't know if they've been wrestling in years.
16 years since they've last been on a WWE match.
Yeah, so they come back. They're just super sloppy, but he got some reaction from the fans, and it brought some interest to the show.
Okay, so tell me what happened after. Apparently, like some random wrestler, like came into the ring and said that he even granted a match.
Yeah. So this was. What was the guy's name? He called himself the
Gary
Milkman.
the Milkman Millman.
Yeah, Gary the Milkman Milner, I think it was. So that was weird. I think they really just wanted to kill time, but
Pretty much. I mean, it's not like they don't have wrestlers like, Summer Rae or anything like that. The fans,
yeah, like
or
people who have not been on screen
Exactly.
since the brand split, but
that the fans are clamoring for and have hashtags for.
yeah. But so he comes out and he says he has been granted a license to compete tonight. So he wants somebody to come out there and challenge him.
Random.
Yeah, yeah. So Kane comes out. Like before Kane comes out, he like takes off all of his clothes down to his underwear, and then you hear Kane's music hit, and then he's trying to put back on his clothes and then to run away. But it's like, just run away. Like you don't have a problem being in your underwear if you were gonna wrestle, but you have to dress up before you run off. So Kane comes out, choke slams him. Nobody cares, and
and life goes on.
yeah, it was just a waste of time. I think the only point of this segment was to have that small interaction between Baron Corbin and Kane as he was leaving. Because when they cross, as Kane is leaving, Baron Corbin just looks at him. So maybe that's foreshadowing for a possible feud between two tall guys who nobody gives a damn about.
Gives a shit about.
Yeah, so.
That definitely. Yeah. So
Yeah.
we have that to look forward to.
Great. So yeah, so Baron Corbin for some reason has a match with Dean Ambrose.
Somebody's got to fight Dean.
Yeah, and I didn't pay much attention to this match, so really, I don't think it's anything to really highlight. Dean Ambrose wins.
Yeah, it was another like just tomato can warm up for AJ Styles. Styles was doing commentary.
Yeah, so he comes to attack him at the end of the match, and I guess he's jumping up to do the phenomenal forearm. And why I had issues with this being a finisher, because it's dangerous.
Yeah.
So Dean basically knocks him like off the top rope as he's trying to do the forearm, and he crotches himself. So he's just sitting on the top rope, selling this in super cartoonish fashion, like my balls. So that's how they end the show, with Dean Ambrose just like shaking AJ's hand, bouncing the ropes to hurt AJ's balls.
That's how every WWE event should end, regardless.
Ball shots.
Somebody just getting hit in the crotch, like writhing in agony, beholding their genitalia.
Yeah, the main event of every show should just be completely full of ball shots.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, ball shots part 2.
I approve.
Yeah, so that was really the wrestling of this week. I feel like this was one of the weeks that, to me, Raw was slightly more interesting than SmackDown, just because of the main event, really, because there was like no reason for the Ambrose versus
Baron Corbin,
Corbin match.
There was no feuding. There was no
Yeah.
There was just nothing, no reason for them.
Yeah, there was no heat for this going into it. It was kind of just a waste of time. Then we have the whole milkman segment, which I don't understand. It's like Heath Slater was pretty much blocked from coming into the building for the most part until he got destroyed by two main eventers, and then this guy gets granted a license to come out and challenge.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like, it was just a weird episode of SmackDown.
I'm trying to think, like, who else could have fought Dean Ambrose tonight other than Baron Corbin? Like, I'm trying to think, like, who else?
I mean, they could have done something different. It could have been, it could have been Ziggler again trying to get back into title contention because he lost his potential shot last week. So he could have been like, give me another chance against you, Dean. I know I can beat you, or something. It just, like, Baron Corbin has not interested me his entire time.
It could have been Cena.
It seems like, from what I'm hearing, that they're keeping Cena off screen because he's not going to be at Backlash, so they don't want to get people's hopes up, I guess, for him being at the pay-per-view because he's going to be leaving soon. Mm-hmm. But he is in the building apparently, and he's wrestling in the dark matches, so he's there for the live crowd, but like not on TV. So it's like weird. They're like kind of in this limbo period with Cena.
The face that runs the place.
Yeah, the face that runs away from the place. Because you have AJ claiming that title, and John Cena is in the building, but he's not, like, disputing it at all. So it's almost like he conceded to it. But it's weird because in the lead up to their match at SummerSlam, AJ was saying, like, Cena, after I beat you, you're going to have to come out and say that I'm better than you. And if you don't say it, you're a liar. And if you do say it, you're a loser. But he didn't either. He didn't say it. So I guess that means John Cena's a liar. So.
Yeah, those are some rules.
And I like the touch with AJ of wearing the headband that Cena left in the ring. Although it was an armband for John Cena, but it's a headband for AJ.
So small AJ is no big Cena.
Yeah, so I thought that was funny. So I think that AJ is doing his best work since he's been in the company. His character is developing more, and that's more interesting. It felt like it was dumb, the whole crotching thing at the end. And I didn't see Talking Smack for this week, but apparently he was still, like, selling it on Talking Smack. He was, like, adjusting in his chair, like so he kept fidgeting with himself, like, when he was sitting down.
Package.
So yes, I thought that was funny, but really that was there wasn't much that I took out of SmackDown that was entertaining. So yeah, for this week I say Raw wins.
Yeah, easily.
Yeah. So I think that might be it for our show. Was there anything else you wanted to touch on? Did you watch any other wrestling shows this week?
No, I didn't watch any wrestling shows. I'm trying to think from the two shows, like what exactly. Just
highlights.
Highlights and stuff like that. I mean, like, do you think Paige is gonna stay with the WWE? I mean, she's out with an injury right now, and then with all the Del Rio stuff.
I hope she comes back because, like, that was one of the things, like, with this, like, they have the thing on the network, the Women's Revolution or whatever, and, like, they are losing the people that were, like, at the start of their revolution. Like, AJ has been gone for a long time now, and if Paige leaves, is like some of the people that started this new exciting period in wrestling.
Yeah.
In women's wrestling, that I don't want to see them disappear. I feel like AJ, she's only like 21 or 22 or something. So I feel like she has a long career ahead of her. So I hope she comes back. I think she started out pretty young though. She might be 23 at the oldest or something like that. But
But still, yeah, like Eva Marie's like it was suspended, and Summer
Yeah.
Rae, they don't have her on TV, and
Yeah, it's a weird time right now. Like, it seems like this brand split is happening like at one of the worst times as far as their roster goes. Like all these suspensions and these injuries.
these wellness, the wellness, whatever this policy is, whatever.
Yeah, because it's like on the Raw side, you got Finn Balor out after a huge push. So it's like kind of in this weird period. I think it's going to be exciting with Kevin Owens as a champ. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with that. Just
He's
slightly worried
has
about it.
The everyman quality about him.
Yeah,
Fans love.
has the everyman quality, plus his promo work is great. Like he just is a really good heel, even though he's not getting the heel reactions anymore. He's gonna have a lot of people cheering for him, but I think he does well in his role.
I have a question. Did Mysterio get suspended?
I think Mysterio is out of the company now officially.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I saw something that he was like suspended for like 60 days or something. I don't know if that was like old news or.
Yeah, that was probably from a while ago. I think he left probably after a suspension, but yeah, he's been gone a little while now.
Okay, cool. So yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah. So that's pretty much it for this episode of The Frustrated Wrestling Fan. We were streaming this episode on Facebook Live. I see a couple people checked in. I see my friend Jonathan checked in, and
Hi, Jonathan.
Bradley. So shout out to those guys. We're going to try to do this each week. We'll see how it goes. It was kind of bumpy getting started this week, but we eventually got it going.
We like it rough and
Raw.
and raw.
Maybe I like it raw. So yeah, so that was the episode for this week. So give out your social media information for everybody to hit you up.
Cool. My Twitter handle is Anthony Hoffman. My Instagram is at Tony Hoffman Shy. That's CHI, Tony Hoffman Shy. And you could also find me on Tinder.
That's right.
I'm Anthony, 32. Yeah.
All right. So I'm not on Tinder.
Because you're married.
Yeah. So I'm on Twitter at Zach from Chicago. That's ZAC from Chicago. You can follow me on Instagram also if you want to. ZH Radio. You can follow the podcast on Facebook at The Frustrated Grad Podcast. You can follow us on Twitter at Frustrated Grad and YouTube at youtube.com/frustratedgrads with an S. So, yeah, that's it. So I'm going to leave this video up on Facebook Live. I'm probably going to put a video version on YouTube, and as always with the podcast. So thank you for listening, and if you're watching on Facebook, thanks for watching.
Testicles. I just wanted to say testicles.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, and that's all you get for today.